So far, the crew has cleared every hurdle naysayers have placed in their way. Columbus would be home to one of the 10 inaugural teams. Columbus has outperformed much larger cities. The true success indicator has been from the fans. Well, it's going now.
Hello, and welcome to the club. I'm your host, Mars, and this is the Upper 90 Club special off-season episode. Off-season? That's what they call it. Off-season episode of the Upper 90 Club. A roundtable podcast where, in this case, we have
five friends,
a few friends and a few guests discussing the Columbus crew. With us, I have Ben and Trey. We also have Bart and Allison from GCGBAG, the Greater Columbus Golden Boys and Girls. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, absolute pleasure to be here, fellas.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
So just for our listeners who are not familiar with GCGBAG, kind of introduce yourselves and the group so we kind of get to know how you started and how you're involved with the crew.
Well, the Greater Columbus Golden Boys and Girls is the number one just universally beloved supporter group / lifestyle brand in the Nordeca. We are famous for, among other things, Africa by Toto being a thing has roots with GCGBAG. Of course, Gambino, You know him, you love him, you see him often throughout Nordeca and Columbus crew events. That is a GCGBAG stalwart. The Triangles, you may be familiar with the Triangles. Yep, that is GCGBAG.
You did Triangles?
We brought the Triangles, into the Triangles, the absolute most obnoxious. Like, you thought Vuvuzelas was annoying, but no.
I do.
Wow. So
Triangles like the
little,
is that Ed Grimley? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Into the triangle part, because I think if there's one thing, like GCGBAG, we overcommit probably to every bit. I
was going to say overcommit.
Yeah, that's. I think if there's one kind of thing to take away from us, that's it.
Is that we created?
So when you hear commentators talking about like triangles in soccer, is that kind of like
total
what
soccer
you're going
baby.
For? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Total soccer in the stands.
Yeah, absolutely.
Triangles.
And also, like your kids, winter concert triangles, mostly those ones.
It's a prestigious position. You got to know when to do it.
There's a lot of triangles out there.
And Gambino, is that a rotating? This is like a person in a Gumby. So we assume it's a person. Is this a rotating role?
It's kind of.
Who is Gambino? Tell me more about that.
Yes.
The Dread Pirate Roberts kind
that
of.
was my initiation.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was my initiation into GCGBAG. I showed up for a game. This was like when I first started dating my now husband. And they had this Gumby suits that you drink from the eye hole of it. Because there's no mouth hole. So you're drinking your like claw, whatever, through the eye hole. And I was looking at this person in it and I was like, that's very strange. I don't know if I want to do that. And then a couple of games later, I had been drinking a lot in the parking lot. They're like, you should be Gambino. I was like, absolutely. It's Gambino when I was in it. But
yes,
the premise behind it is that you get all of your drinks for free when you're in the Gumby suit. So that's the incentive to be in it. And it's fun for people not to know who you are. You kind of get to do whatever you want.
That's why every day no one knows who I am.
I have experienced full body costume at crew games.
Yeah, that's right. Forgot you dress as a monkey.
The dance, like I don't have dance moves.
Well,
but I did when I was wearing a full body costume, so I hear you. And then Gambino, why the Brazilian? Is this just like a soccer thing? You said you went to Portugal.
Yeah, no, that was
He's from Portugal, Spain, as we had discussed prior.
Okay,
he took a train to Columbus.
I think it was a guy. It was one of our buddies college Halloween costumes. And
did you go to OU?
We got I did.
I did too. Okay. It feels like a very OU thing. Very on brand.
We decided to actually on the original. We actually painted on the 08 jersey. The black with the yellow stripe in it. We painted it on the costume. This Gumbino costume right now. It's probably the third or fourth iteration. Ethan would know, or Allison would. He's the one I think is the unofficial keeper of Gumbino.
Well, we are going to need to get a new one. Just so you know. Yeah. New Gumby.
If the drinks are free, if the drinks are free and it's only being worn while drinking, different people,
you're going to need a new costume.
Yeah.
I could imagine that the rotation schedule is
it's like a Jeff Foxworthy joke.
Prompt and frequent. Okay, so how many people are involved? Like, you mentioned, I can't remember if it was before we started or since I asked you the question, but how long have you been doing it, and is this the original form of the group?
Absolutely. So yeah, like the origins of GCGBAG probably start around that. The kind of origins with Nordeck, and there's a bunch of us that were buddies, a lot of us friends in high school and around then, and then continued going to crew games throughout college, and in probably the early 2010s we sort of kind of created the first variation of it, which was Squadron 71, and our the goal, we tailgate at the games, but we tailgated at the end of the entrance to the parking lot right from 17th, like as close to the entrance from 17th as possible. It's far away from Mega Tailgate. Just because we were weird guys who didn't want to be part of the official Mega Tailgate and all the supporter stuff with that. Ended up moving up there, becoming GCGBAG probably around 2014. We're rolling pretty big by the time there was the MLS Cup final that was unfortunately canceled due to Don Garber's, I think, explosive diarrhea was what was ultimately reported. And really got our became, I think, most official probably the following year in 2016, to the point where we had board meetings, people were taking notes, things like that. We've got the GCGBAG website, of course, produced things like the Drunken Cruiser. If you're not familiar with that, great YouTube series featuring Tyler Kendall, who couldn't be on tonight, but I do have a statement to read on his behalf later. But that's a great series if you're crew fans to check out, as the search for the Golden Cruiser. Did, of course,
I think that was my first introduction to you guys.
Yeah,
was the YouTube
I've
stuff.
seen one.
I'm like,
it's we had the Rick and Rick's important simulations and game previews where they would play FIFA against whoever the crew opponent was and record that. Awesome. And then
content creation. I love that. Yeah, awesome.
And so it's sort of always been so we've been kind of going pretty strong since 2016, 2015, 2016. We did sell memberships up until 2018, I think, with Save the Crew, when all the rest of the supporter groups, we kind of all did the Voltron thing. Under the Nordeca umbrella to help save the crew.
Were you the head? Who was the head?
I think we were, I'd say we're the head. I think GCGBAG was the head. And probably like two of the legs. Then there's Murderers Row, and the rest of them. It's just sort of we were really carrying it, honestly. And they always kind of look to us for leadership. Because we're just natural leaders and really good looking and charismatic like that.
Okay. Yeah. Ben and I used to play music, and we had a show flyer once where we did Voltron.
Did I put that together?
Yeah. And I was the head. What?
Yeah, I don't.
What'd you say?
Wasn't one of your dogs the arm?
Yeah, the dog was in there.
I can't remember it. There wasn't a body.
Anyway,
of Voltron.
I like the Voltron.
Yeah, I love Voltron.
I like the Voltron reference, and I like speaking to another head. Okay, so then, man, can I ask a sidebar question? You mentioned the unfortunate final that was canceled, the unfortunate cancellation of the final that didn't occur. This is kind of a new concept to me. Trey, you were the first one that I ever heard deny the existence of that game. That's kind of a new concept to me. But in the last 6 months, I've heard so many people talk about that. Are we able to break down the fourth wall on that? And like, is that like a new thing?
I don't know what you're talking about. Sure I mean, it's sort of, been a thing since December 6th when we were all thrilled in the parking lot. I mean, I can't tell you how excited I was for this game. Yeah.
Nothing happened.
I assumed I had a concussion the entire time.
All right. Nope. So you're all going to gaslight me?
Yeah, 100%.
Nothing happened.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Remember Dong had the poops.
He did.
Dong had the poops. That's what it said on the website.
Yep.
All right, MLSsoccer.com. MLS Soccer.
So
Major League Soccer.
MLS Soccer.com.
Yeah, exactly. Where you get your ATM machine.
Let's fast forward to this season. Or this coming season, or what would you call it? League year. You are getting involved in the new board elections insofar as to endorse candidates, and you have created a form for prospective candidates to get involved. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think again we kind of talked about it. If the origins of it, sort of like, if GCGBAG, if we're known for one thing, it's having a totally normal, healthy interest in Josh Williams. But if there's another thing, it's definitely have not, been hit with any restraining orders or anything like that. I want to make that clear. If there's anything. Yeah.
Bart, did you know I ran into Josh the night before the MLS Cup, though? Did I tell you this?
It was a sign. It was foretold.
Yeah. And you were arrested.
I was at Pins on 4th Street.
She's like, I just happened to be at his house. I don't know.
Well, I was at Pins on 4th Street, and Ethan, my husband, also another G-Bag, we were standing in line asking them how long the wait would be for duck pin bowling. Because this was maybe like 10:30, 11 o'clock. Like, the line was picking up. And I turn around and I'm like, that's Josh Williams. And he's out in public with his friends and I
getting ready for the game because he might have been subbed in. Yeah.
Right. And so I just, we of course get caught staring at him, and he recognizes us just from being GCGBAG. And he's like, hey guys, what's going on? we were like, hey,
were there any, was that
tomorrow.
a violation of anything? Like, because you were in public, is that like not a violation of any non-existent?
I don't think they were close to
Okay.
That's what Charles Camposano, our legal counsel, is for. He keeps us in the clear on that stuff.
It sounds like he was getting around. I think everyone I talked to that went to the final interacted with him, and he was even out the night before.
He gave me a hug, and I think that was why we won the cup, honestly.
Okay.
Totally legit. I'm totally checked out
with that.
I got a hug too.
I did not. That out later on.
The butterfly and butterfly effect. I think
butterfly tattoos.
I think you've got something there. Okay. So you were describing your totally healthy
that's
relationship with Josh Williams, but also how that pertains to your involvement with this year's board elections.
I think we just wanted to establish that we had a really totally healthy relationship with Josh Williams. I just wanted to make that clear, and then we can go and talk about the.
Because you legally have to. Okay. Let's talk about the Nordec board. Cool, Josh Williams. Love him.
All right. Well, thank you again for your contribution.
We're legally obligated
for winning
to
the MLS Cup.
We need to say that, each time.
Okay, right. And that's different than Tyler's statement, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
No, that's different.
It's in our probation. Like it's part of our statement, our probation statement.
Double secret probation. No, I think it's just that, again, the other thing we're known is, again, we commit to the bit, and we're just kind of, we're talking about the Nordec board elections coming up in the group chat, and someone mentioned like, hey, we should do endorsements, and then it's like, well, yeah, we'll absolutely commit to this one. And
have you done it before? Have you guys been?
Never. Nope.
Yeah, I didn't.
It's my knowledge that I don't think any supporter group has ever done endorsements. Certainly not any like with such thoughtful and thorough of a screening process as I think we've put together. Asking the important questions. Will you commit to making sure that Don Garber is an official chant that we will use in the Nordec whenever anything goes wrong? And
we'll get into the questions here in a little bit. That.
Absolutely, but I think really to be earnest for a bit, I like Nordec. I think we're it's a really big family. I think we all share the same goals. We want to up the lads. We want to win cups.
Got up the lads.
I think exactly. I think
kind of
reasonable. No, exactly.
No, dude.
We're going to up the lads, but we want to up the lads to heretofore unfathomable levels.
Wow.
And I think again, reasonable minds can differ around tactics, and we're really, that's what this endorsement process is about, is trying to flesh it out. Our kind of what we want to see from the candidates, I think, we're looking for three big things. We want to make sure that Nordeca is able to kind of remain independent. We want to promote, greater transparency within the organization, and kind of really make sure that it reflects our values as a supporter group, and I think as kind of the Nordeca at large. And so we are using our platform as the universally most beloved supporter group in all Nordeca to kind of let people know where we stand, and then they can do with that what they will.
Are you worried you're going to get more popular than the Nordec? That was my worry when I was.
I mean,
are we there
already?
Okay, cool.
I mean, now don't get me wrong. Allison wants to do the work, but I don't want to do the rest of that work. So I think we don't want to get popular enough that we have to end up doing more work. At least Allison's willing to do it. TK's willing to do the work. I'm just happy, and I think the rest of us are happy to supporting up the lads. However much we did, we have a lot of folks in GCGBAG that really cut their teeth a lot during the Save the Crew movement, and then immediately following that, Ethan, Allison's husband, has served in Nordeca leadership in the past, up until the infamous second rebrand, we're pretty intimately aware of how much work there goes into serving in those positions. They're volunteer positions. They don't get paid. It's pretty thankless. And I think again, Allison, she could speak a little bit more to what she's interested in with this and with the position around merchandising. But we're aware, and we want to make sure we care about Nordeca. We care about this big family, and want to make sure that we're able to really sustain, but also again up the lads so high.
You can make them so high.
Okay, so let's take a quick break now. When we come back, I want to talk to Allison about her candidacy, and I want to talk about some of the standards that you guys have set forth for GCGBAG to endorse any other prospective candidates. So with that, let's break, and we'll be right trapped. Girls, come to story time. In the great green room, there's a telephone and a red balloon.
Dad, please don't do this. Goodnight Moon is for babies.
It's a board book, dude.
Okay, fine. What's it gonna be? You guys pick.
Okay, we love this one.
Oh, A Massive Collection Volume 1 by Steve Sirk. You know, this is the first wide-ranging collection of his work. It features long-lost stories dating as far back as '97. It has a lot of popular favorites from over the years, too.
Well, what is volume 1? Like it's quiet?
No, it means it's like the first of a larger set.
Oh, okay, so where's the next one?
Well, it's funny that you asked that because Volume 2 just came out. You can get it at Steve Sirk's website, circbook.com. It'll also be available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Links will be available at
We are not listening to you. Just go order it.
And we're back. So before we left, we alluded to Allison has thrown her hat in the ring to join the Nordeca board.
I'm assuming it's like
Allison.
You're like a mole or like an inside person for GCGBAG. That's why I didn't know if we wanted to even talk about it. Like you're like, yeah, I'm totally not affiliated with this group, and then you're just like, I'm in, guys.
She affiliated. She declared that affiliation.
I'm very
okay.
Yeah, I'm very much affiliated. Since who we deemed the mom and dad have moved away of the GCGBAG, I've been dubbed the aunt of the GCGBAG now. So I would say I'm very much affiliated by marriage first.
Okay.
But now
that's how it always
I've really
made
starts.
You got to think about these things.
So what position are you a candidate for, and kind of talk through what's important to you and how you want to make an impact on the board?
Yeah. Okay. So I am running for merchandise director, mostly because I think that was the space where I would get to do two things that I really love to do, which is be creative and get to work with other people. My full-time job, I'm a school teacher. And so taking on large scale projects and getting to do fun, creative projects with big groups of people is what I do. And so when it came down to where I think my talents would fit best, I think merchandise director is where that's going to fit. And kind of what Bart had said before, the values that we're looking for when it comes to like fleshing out for the endorsement process, those are things that I bring to the table. And so that's kind of why I chose it, I guess, to start.
I love it. How long have you been teaching?
This is going on my 9th year.
They haven't broken you yet?
No, not yet.
My wife was a teacher, and
I mean,
if you can make it through COVID, I'm going to pencil you in for president because it is a nightmare to be a teacher, A. B, to make it through COVID. My wife bailed, and she's like a saint. My brother made it, but he's a psychopath. Like, you guys are insane.
I was going to say the pandemic really brought me close.
Yeah.
More. I think it more just taught me that teaching is something that I don't know how to describe it. It was seeing the kids every single day for me that even when it was online in person, when we were wearing masks, it really taught me that it's something that I think I was born to do.
You have to because they pay you like $7, and now you're going after a position that is unpaid. You're the best. I'll tell you that right now. Listen, I'm sick and tired of getting paid crappy. I'm going to not get paid to do more work. So you're like going to be the Miss Lippies of the Nordeca. From Billy Madison?
Is that
right?
Is that
just like
is that a
sorry
Billy Madison reference?
Sorry,
yes, it is. Yeah,
I'll probably cut it.
Okay.
He didn't go with the popular ones. He went Miss Libby.
Miss Libby rules.
So you said that you'd be working with a bunch of folks. What is that? What is the role, like the whole role of the merchandise director assume and for the board?
So I think the biggest way that I'm going to be working with people is I have to work with suppliers to make amazing merchandise for crew fans and for supporters groups. And I don't really know what kinds of suppliers there are for that currently until I get into the role. But I'm imagining that there's a lot of different vendors that are at play. If not, I'll find that out when I get into if I get into the position. Don't want to count my chickens before they hatch there. I had to catch myself. But if I'm lucky enough to be elected into the position, it'll be figuring out who are we already working with and what kind.
I think we.
Oh no, that's they are trying to cut her off.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Yeah,
Well,
who's
we'll cut
running
you back in.
against you? Are they here? It's Donald AT&T. He's out there cutting wires.
We lost Allison's audio. Someone is outside on the pole. It looks like they've
out on the
they've
pole.
gone away.
Where's she at?
Like the
I know
the telecom pole.
Oh, the telecom pole, as we call
telecom pole.
As we call it. As we call it.
What the
The telecom.
I still have the long RSV. I'm sorry. So you were cut off, but you were talking. Please just jump back in.
Help.
And hopefully Ben will cut out that whole thing.
No, so just that I have to be able to work with vendors and suppliers for merchandise of all different types. So kind of getting once I figure out if I'm able to be elected to the position, it's going to be a matter of who are we already working with, what kinds of new local vendors hopefully will we be able to bring in to make amazing merch for Nordic fans and for supporters groups. But that's the biggest thing is you're going to be working with crew fans and supporters who have really high expectations for their merch. They want dope merch. Because now, especially with a third star, we're going to need a fresh set of really dope gear to be wearing to all of these games. So being able to figure out what crew fans want to see when it comes to like, where's my Nordic membership money going? It's going towards exclusive merch that is just for me. And then also seeing what kinds of things can we put out for all crew fans. Because this season, especially, there's going to be a lot of new ones coming in. And we're really excited for all of the new supporters that are going to be joining the Nordic next season and hopefully working up the lads with us. So that's kind of where I fit in because I work with other people every single day of my life, and I have an immense amount of patience because I work in elementary school, right? So I can deal. I can deal with anyone. I can work with anybody.
And I'm assuming most of the Nordeca is they're like children anyway. So this is like an absolute great. Yeah, it's like what you want to wear. It's like I want to wear clothes. It's like we got you. What's funny is for Christmas I ended up getting that GCG bag on supporter supply, the old 90s thing, and it's one of the best things. I wore it that day, and my brother's like, dude, that's awesome. And he's like, is that the crew? And I was like, it's GCG bag. And he's like, what's that? I'm like, tune in, idiot.
So you have you have your a leg up because you've got the endorsement of GCG bag, and
allegedly.
Others can too.
Well, yes,
right?
I will say we will not officially release our endorsements until Friday, January 5th. Wink, wink. But
is that a Black Friday special?
And then on January 6th, where are you going to be?
It's mostly just because, they're. So I guess the official, they're taking candidate submissions. We wanted to be, aligned with Nordeca. They're taking candidate submissions, I think, through the 31st. Then they are announcing on, I think, the 2nd, starting the elections. We wanted to give ourselves some time to recover from hangovers from New Year's or whatever it is, and also gather, the brain trust together to really go through all these, detailed answers that we've gotten from folks, and then give people the content that they, expect and deserve when it comes to GCG bag endorsements. So we're going to be a couple days into the election, so folks, you hold off. I know you just want to, the second it comes out, you want to just hit vote, but you want to wait to get the GCG bump and hear who gets the GCG bump. You'll have to wait until the 5th.
Got it.
Yeah. So you'll be able to, vote your card, right? You have the GCG bag card.
You've got, GCG
that
bag
you'll
sample
be
ballot.
Well represented if you vote that card. So let's kind of, I wanted to talk about some of the prompts for that endorsement, the things that you want to learn about these candidates to make sure that that when a vote is being cast, that this person is going to represent a typical, upstanding crew fan well. So, Ben, you have some of those questions pulled up. Do you want to just kind of talk through those and we can deliberate on those?
Yeah, I actually thought about running, and then I saw that you had posted kind of a questionnaire for the Nordeca board, and I was like, interesting. Maybe I'll go through it. And I'll tell you what, by the end of it, I knew that I wasn't fit to do anything. So I was like, I can't do it. But I pulled out some questions, and I kind of wanted to ask you, and also talk to Trey and talk to Mars about what are we going to answer about this. So let's just go through there. I cherry picked some questions. And I kind of want to get your answers. I'm going to put Allison on the spot too. Bart, you as well. Also, sidebar, I also think it'd be kind of funny, Bart, if you ran alongside Allison, last second, went to be the director, just we're both going to the same.
I'm Allison's campaign manager. That's my role.
I love it. Okay, so first question, you ready? If elected, Saint Sweet Lord Guillermo grants you one wish, what would your wish be? And I don't know who wants to take it first. It's not Mars because he's having a coughing attack from RSV, but
I got this.
All right, Trey.
I want Justin Miram to have a fourth child. That's what my wish would be.
But who would who would the lucky lady be?
His wife.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm just making sure. Right?
They're pregnant, or they're having a third. They can have a fourth.
Is he
just
pregnant?
Make my life even better.
Okay.
No.
So if yours. Lord Guillermo came down,
Trey says Justin Miram using the pregnant man emoji.
Totally sorry, guys. Justin winked at my wife one time, and I just again.
He can't let it go.
He shouldn't let it go.
So it'll be. I should say pregnant man emoji winking emoji.
Yeah, good old hanky hair plugs.
Okay. Allison, what about you?
I said that I want the Don Garber chant to just become official. There's no period where we're testing it out. There's no trial. It just immediately becomes known because it's such a good chant.
So what is the chant?
Anytime the goalie...
Yeah, how does it
go? So anytime the goalie or anytime at a kickoff, anytime the ball is stopped, you just shout Don as loud as you can for as long as that person has the ball. So it's just Don, and then the minute they kick it, you go Garber.
Never
It's the most degenerate voice you can do.
Okay, it's also
and so I just want it to be done. It's just got to be lore now. It's got to be in. So I was my wish.
It's also for BS they don't show the card when they should show the card. Goalie is killing or wasting time. Any sort of situation where it's probably Don Garber's fault.
Like a groundswell too, right?
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So someone can kind of begin it,
exactly.
Right?
You think of that entire
and there's commotion
stadium
on the field, and you notice that around you there's this.
The Capos need an earpiece
that's building, right?
Yeah, they just
and not only that, but the Capos can definitely cheer that one too without getting in trouble with microphones or anything.
Or just hold up his a picture of his face that we all use for all the memes and stuff like that, or the "Are you okay?" Just put that up. Just be like, "Done." Oh, that's okay. I love it. So Bart, what would you do?
Love it.
He came down. He blessed you. He said, "Bart, new father. I'm giving you one wish."
I know, just sweet Lord Guillermo. I would like to save Eddie Gavin and just bring him back and give us Eddie Gavin in his prime now on this team.
Oh my goodness!
From the Dayton Dutch Lions, just brutally massacring our sweet boy.
U.S. Open Cup, hot topics.
It will be. We're going to fix it. It's going to be the Mountain Dew Baja Blast U.S. Open Cup, powered by Audi
and the Pop-Tarts.
By exactly. Yep.
Yeah, toaster strudels.
The Pop-Tart games today.
Brilliant. Yeah. This is going to come out a little bit later, so they'll be like old hat. But yeah, we got to do like the toaster strudel, like Baja Blast.
Whatever the generic one is.
Great. Yeah, and if you're going to do it, go all in. Well, I love it. I love that. Mars, what do you got? Guillermo,
if I had one wish, I don't know. Like, selfishly, some kind of like Tesla Hyperloop between my place and lower.com.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It's like, it's really hard to get away with the
4 kids.
Yeah, with the giant family, and some kind of fast teleporting device that would allow me to easily and readily attend more games than those viewed at Soldier Field would be great.
I like it.
I love it. And if I had one, it would be to never die. Okay, next one. Should board members have to be Gambino for at least one game? And I actually put on here, how did Gambino come about? But now that we already went through all that, yeah, and I think they should be. So you drink through. Help me understand. So like that person has a bottle and you drink out of the eye, or that whoever's in the
tube.
Gambino.
Is there an apparatus?
Like the hole that you can drink through. Like normally it would be through the mouth, but it is not. It is through the eye of Gambino. That's where your mouth is at the eye level.
Oh, okay.
So
how do you
just like Gumby?
Are you looking out the head?
Yeah, just like Gumby.
Yeah, it.
Can you eat a hot dog through the eye? Like that, where the mouth is.
It's vibes.
So disorienting.
It's vibes only.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And this is a way for Common Crew fans to start to see the impact of GCGBAG on the Nordeca board, right? Where it's like, I can, I can see the influence.
Yeah. And before we move further,
the requirement of those involved to wear the Gambino.
And you can't be. I don't know. You're not like spending money on this. Like you can't be a part of this or do the whole thing like you used to back in like 2018 2019, because I noticed the website really hadn't been updated for a couple years.
It's it just takes a little bit of effort, and we're all a little bit Allison's got the time and effort to do it, but we update the website from time to time. We will have put some of the endorsement content up for there, so because it's just you're not going to be able to fit it in. We're not going to pay however much you need for the blue check mark to be able to get the length that you need for these thoughtful endorsements
and the girth.
So we will use the website, be rocking that for a little bit. I don't know who runs the Twitter account, but I just DM'd a GIF of Gambino drinking in real life, so you can kind of see how the physics behind it,
which is
really appreciate.
Probably triangles.
So for those who are vying for a seat on the board, they could conceptualize how they may spend at least one game day.
I think it's important that they do. It's because as Allison said, you should have to again. I've been Gambino. I think most people in GCGBAG have been Gambino for at least one game or during a pregame tailgate. But to just give yourself to the vibes for 90 minutes. I think
can one of us be a part of it, even though we're not?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to let you know if I'm coming into town.
I know Mar's will 100% do it.
I want to do it. I would have a great time.
I'll do it.
Absolutely.
Mort will do it. Haas, we should force Haas to do it. Try his own thing. Okay. All right. So next question is, I don't even think this is on here, but I'm going to skip that one. So one of them said, Jackhammer go blank. So for those who don't know,
like a personality
we have a
test,
really
right?
neat thing when we score goals that there's a jackhammer, and they jackhammer.
So that's a tradition, or what do they call it?
Okay, yeah.
What's the term for it? They call it like
Can
the
you
branded
call it a
name.
tradition
It's
if you just like make it up? It's like giving
Legacy
yourself a
or-
nickname. It's like, that's not really it. Like, you can call me, I was like, yeah, my name's Ben. You can call me, Slug. And it's like, all right, Ben, we're not going to do that.
Yeah. Mars. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Proceed.
Also true.
This episode of the Upper 90 Club is brought to you, as always, by Supporter Supply Company. Hi, friends, this is your good pal Morgan Hughes, here to talk to you about a serious issue facing 96% of all crew supporters in Columbus. Why, not enough free shipping, of course. For a limited time now, through the eventual heat death of the universe, Upper 90 Club listeners can use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z on the end of it, at checkout for free delivery on absolutely any order over $10. But Morgan, what if I order $10 worth of stickers, or those goddamned buttons, or some other combination of small items that make you want to kill yourself? Will the free shipping still apply then, even as you curse our family, while you package up our little tiny annoying ass order for us? Of course it will. That's just how much we here at Supporter Supply value our friends at the Upper 90 Club. So head on over to supportersupply.co and use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z at checkout for free shipping on all your orders over $10. And don't forget to tell them that your friends at the Upper 90 Club sent ya.
All right, we're going to hit Trey with this one first. All right, jackhammer, go. And I'm sure this is an inside joke because most of GCGBAG is inside jokes.
I forever had, okay, you guys were talking about Nordic chants earlier. I would absolutely love if Nordic, like whenever we score a goal and the jackhammer just starts jacking and then everybody gets real excited.
Jackhammer go jacking.
Yeah. Oh, and then like explodes like out of just, that'd be about it.
So,
I mean, besides that, I could care less.
So you said jackhammer go jacking. And I love that. I think that's legit.
Yep.
I'm sure you guys have the correct answer. So let's do Allison. What do you think?
Well, I can't do it very well, but it goes.
Oh, this is an onomatopoeia.
It makes a sound. It's a very specific sound, and I can't do it very well. Okay, Bart, I have to pass it to you.
Jackhammer, go brrrr.
That's much better. Much better.
And that is the correct answer.
That is the correct answer.
So no percussive qualities, right? Or it's more of like more of a hum. Or if it was percussive, it would be at a frequency that we could not perceive, right?
Yeah,
but dogs could.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's a problem.
Right.
And they do.
Right.
And they do. The dogs get furious. That's why we've got Crew Cat.
dogs.
We don't have Crew Dog because Crew Dog would not be able to handle himself around
super
jackhammer.
harmonics. Yeah.
True.
It's too much for Crew Dog.
Yeah. I've said that for years. All
right.
Yeah.
What's
Next question. I say jackhammer should go away. Should vuvuzelas be allowed to join the Nordeca brass?
Oh my.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Hold on. Let me
yeah.
ask a follow-up question.
Sorry, my head hurts. No.
Vuvuzelas. Is it Vuvuzela? Vuvuzelas
Yes.
go. Anyone want to?
Someone else is going to have to do that one.
I'm a vuvuzela.
Another non-percussive.
You want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
I think it would be hilarious if the jackhammer made the vuvuzela sound. Like if we just combined the two, and that was like.
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah,
So jackhammer
like a train
I
whistle.
will agree.
It'd be like a train whistle, right? Where you have these two like competing harmonics.
Yeah.
I think
like
part
that.
of my biggest issue with the vuvuzelas is the uncontrollable nature of the people that we give them to, who happen to be very small children.
Allison,
so
you know what
put
we're
it
talking
in
about.
with the Nordeca brass, I'm way more fine with that. Where it's like, all right, try to control them.
Maybe just do one.
now,
Have
go.
one guy play a vuvuzela and all these other talented musicians, but one guy up there like Gambino.
I think the question is, should the vuvuzelas be in the board, right? Like the instrument is on the board. Is that the question?
Yeah.
No.
Yes,
just whether any Joe Schmo with a
brass.
vuvuzela can just walk up to Nordeca brass and be part of it because they've got Vuvuzela.
When you capitalized brass, I was thinking like that was like a colloquial term for the board, and so
yeah, like
dumb it down, dude.
Run through the Vuvuzela.
I read way too much into that.
Yeah.
One.
We make offerings to the Vuvuzela.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I think the answer for Jackhammer Go should go Jackhammer Go Vuvuzela. I think that should be the answer. So next question is beer showers, yes or no? So question. We're talking beer showers as in like someone scores a goal and then you throw beer on them? Is that what the beer in the air? Because that's what LA did, and everyone had like a absolute conniption about it. And it's like, well, that's they weren't being jerks necessarily. This is just like what some people do. They throw beer. So is that kind of what we were talking about? Or throwing beer at the people when they drink it, kind of like what Cucho did? Sick Flex?
No, I don't think throwing the cans, no.
Yeah, I think we mean like during a celebration, you are throwing your beer in the air.
Showers
and
on people.
Showering people.
So are you guys pro or anti?
And it's the
okay, you guys
beer.
are on the term like, don't do that.
Yeah, it's the waste of beer.
Yeah, that's kind of, I think in the heat of the moment, if you go up and some of your beer splashes out on people.
Nacho cheese.
I think the like throwing a beer and actually doing it, intentionally, that's, no.
We gotta title this episode endorsement cheat sheet. Okay.
No, Bart's right. Yeah, I mean, if it's an organic thing that just happens, it's fine. Like if everybody's like, everybody throw your beer. No, that's not cool.
Yeah, this is common sense. Like it's a waste of beer, and like it sucks to be covered in beer.
Just agree to disagree.
We're also 40, so
yeah. All right. Ben, what's next?
Yeah, so we did one Lord Guillermo. We're doing another one. He comes back down dressed as Gabriel, Lord Guillermo, and he grants you one game day match day experience. What would it be? Going into the final, Lord Guillermo comes down and goes, boops you on the nose, boop, and goes, name it. What do you do? I feel like we had talked about this, and I thought about it earlier, and I'm trying to think what I thought it would be. Does anybody have anything? What would it be?
Yeah, I've got one.
What is it?
I want Frankie Haydick to make good on his promise to give me his game jersey in the Eastern Conference Final in 2009 when I gave him a beer. He took the beer and kept the jersey. That wasn't cool.
But no hard feelings.
I'd like to give that guy a beer shower. Love you, Frankie.
I've got for Hell is Real. What I would like is I want us to, and to nod at crew history, is find a way to set the scoreboards on fire, so that those go on fire throughout the entirety of Hell is Real.
I love that. What game was it that?
I love that
the scoreboard caught on fire. We were all there.
Ooh. I think it was Chicago.
I think it was Chicago because it was like Chicago. This is a little on the nose.
No, oh really?
Because it was fire.
Against Chicago.
It feels.
I think it was.
Feels right.
The Microtron. My wife calls it the Microtron.
DC United.
DC like, United.
This like
the Chicago Fire of the East. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it was like there's just this little like tube driven television attached to a scoreboard. It's incredible. Yeah. No wonder it caught on fire.
Game day, match day experience. I'm trying to think what it was. Probably all new music because freaking out about that.
Mine is also Hell is Real related. I would like for when we beat Cincy for someone from the team, whoever's closest, to get the FC Cincy Killed Harambe 2 stick and take a group photo with it in the corner. Because we made it into the FC Cincy Killed Harambe made it into like the picture of Cucho and Ramirez and Matan, I think it was. It's in the background if you zoom. So next is for them to be holding it proudly in front of them with a trophy of some sort.
I like the Hell is Real.
So That's my next
I
goal.
love the hell is real stuff. I think it'd be funny is like at the end of the game, you know how people switch jerseys, like they give us their jersey and we just give them a wooden spoon. Like you get this.
Like a lock of hair.
Yeah. Okay. Next one. Let's skip down through here. Well, speaking of Harambe, who is responsible for the death of Harambe? That was an actual question in order to get elected to get the backing for GCGBAG.
I guess, what do you guys think? We know the answer.
Who was responsible for the death of Harambe?
God, I feel like it's going to be FC Cincinnati or Don Garber, or it could also be
Miazga. But he might have been storming the Capitol.
Well, but it depends on whether he was working or on personal time, you know?
Good point.
Because that could be the FC Cincinnati
Covered
thing.
him in ketchup. Man, are any of those the correct answer? Okay,
Yeah.
FC Cincinnati.
Look, all we're saying is, Harambe was live from 1999 to 2016. FC Cincinnati was created in 2016. You do your own research. Jump to your own conclusions.
Or here's
I don't
a
have to jump
twist.
very far.
Here's a twist. What if Harambe came back as FC Cincinnati?
Oh no.
He
No.
wouldn't. He wouldn't
No,
think
you
that.
kidding
though.
me?
Like, they would have much better vibes. They would have won. They would not have won 3 straight, wooden spoons if that was the spirit of Harambe.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. I have to think about that. I have to think about who FC Cincinnati is and who passed away on 2016. All right, next one. Let's see. We'll do. This will be our last one. So one of the last questions is, what happened on December 6th of 2015? We had talked about it earlier.
Why do you guys keep talking about this?
Yeah, I think we're all under the impression that just like nothing happened. Right? Like the game was canceled. Dong had some diarrhea, dongoria.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, I mean that's what I heard. Yeah, that we were gonna play it, and then it was explosive diarrhea. I think was what Charles Bame reported.
Charles Barkley.
But yeah,
I showed up. I was on the field, and I was holding
We were all ready.
like the little one of the things, and then
You were holding one of
field.
the hands of one of the players. Like you were one
It was
of the
Josh.
players that was.
It was one of the blow up things. It was one of the blow up things. I was
Lars and the
holding
real
it,
girl?
and then I walked off the field, and I'm just next thing I know, I'm drinking heavily. And
I really felt bad
Nothing
for
happened.
the Portland fans that traveled all the way, and then the game wasn't even played.
they had
Yeah.
a wonderful trip to
Yeah,
Columbus.
that's
I mean, I
true.
don't know.
Yeah.
we didn't have enough
and that
craft
was-
beer back then. That was good.
That was the beginning of a romance with Caleb Porter that would change history
And Nagby.
for the crew.
Return home.
And Darlington.
Okay, well, I think this is a good time
Yeah.
because one of the questions that I skipped over was, what do you think of Tottenham? And Tottenham's the best team in the league. Come on, you Spurs. That being said, I think you have a written TK, who couldn't be here, who's also part of GCGBAG, had written you a kind of a thing. Did you want to read that, or
We had a statement.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
'Cause I think online he is
okay,
definitely an Arsenal fan, right?
Yes, he
Yeah.
absolutely.
We would be
is.
such good friends.
He would say that the answer to the Tottenham question is, "What do you think of Tottenham?" Is
Got it.
And what do you think is?
then what do you think of Tottenham?
Got it.
And then he'd say, "Thank you, that's all right," and go on chanting. But yeah, here let me bring up TK's statement. TK is running for the game day or match operations chair, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see here. Okay.
Can you do it in his voice? I haven't met him, I don't think, but
I don't know that I can, but I'll try to capture. Let's see here. It's brap, oi you moppets. It's Chaboy TK. Essentially, I'm running for match day ops to bring a bit of that old stadium to the new stadium without stifling new growth or traditions. I want to create a fun space for everyone, home games or away games. My top 3 priorities include having fun, helping the community grow, and playing Toto every game. Qualifications for TK: he's a founding GCGBAG member, YouTube influencer, The Drunken Cruiser, and hibachi chef. I should also say gang, boombaclot, brap, junglin'. And that is TK's statement.
Oh, I love it. I didn't realize he was running because I checked the board of electors and I didn't realize his photo on the site. From the other photos I've seen of him, they don't seem to match. He looks like looks very.
He's got like I think it's like his the marriage photo or something.
Yeah.
For their I think their wedding the wedding invites.
It looks like he's in Portugal, Spain.
Yeah.
It's my favorite city in Spain.
It's the best. But seriously, I mean, the thing about TK though is he does care a lot, and he's been around for a while. And so like, I'm assuming he'll get the nod,
which I think is the most important thing for whoever is elected to the board is just care.
Yeah,
give a crap. Make a change, do changes. We love it. Bring new, fresh ideas.
Unless we like who's already in the board seat. And in which case, just keep
then
doing
do the
what
exact
you're
At
doing.
the same point, I challenge those same people to bring new, fresh ideas in. Don't stand on your
But this will be the
laurels.
biggest one because it's, new stadium, over 16K season tickets completely sold out. Like, this will be the biggest year we've ever had, period, for the Columbus Crew.
Do you think that this is the beginning of a dynasty? You think that we can just like string together like
all 11 guys, like the 11 starters are coming back? It's
right.
You got to deal with there's Miami, but I don't know that Miami is very much giving like the 2004 Lakers to me. That's a team that made a finals, but like
they brought in the best player in the world. Don't get me wrong; he is definitely, in my opinion, the best player in the world. And they didn't make the playoffs; only finished 1 seed higher than before they was there. So it's like, the Messi effect.
He only played Leagues Cup so they could make the documentary. That's a conspiracy theory I'm willing to take to my grave. But he didn't play in the league. He didn't play any like regular season games. We can talk about that.
They had him play that game in Toronto that he absolutely should not have played, and he got injured and missed the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Scar tissue.
He's also, there's no way he's going to play the game in Columbus. Like October on a Wednesday, not happening.
They just picked up Nicholas Ladero. So I'm assuming he'll fill in.
No, Ladero's going to Orlando.
Yeah, Orlando, right?
Are we sure about that?
So that's a different city, and it's a different city in Florida.
The original report was that he was going to be going to Miami, and then I did see Fabrizio Romano. Report that he was going to Orlando.
Interesting.
Why?
His luggage is going to Miami.
He's like,
common mistake,
right?
Listen, cities are rough. And there's a lot of states and a lot of cities.
No.
I've said that for a long time. All right. Well, to close out,
guys. Hey, so we're
this could be the
thank you for joining us in the off season. I want to make sure that anyone who isn't already plugged in with GCGBAG can. So how can listeners follow? Subscribe. What's the right term? I've heard the kids throwing around these terms like Riz and subscribe
and the TikToks. How can they TikTok your Twitters?
We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, and always looking for new supporters. Anyone is welcome. So if you find yourself feeling drawn to the G bags, come hang out with us. We're normally in the corner of the tailgate, closest to the porta potties. I feel like that's where we've been set up. Easy to find us.
I'll find the porta potties.
Find in that location.
God willing.
Corner by the porta potties. Lower.com field.
Look for the GCG flag. The GCG flag flying.
Yep.
I'm going to mail in my sign-up sheet today. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us tonight in the off season. Can't wait for the 24 season to kick off, which thankfully is so much sooner this year than it was last year. We had to wait felt like 6 months. But thanks for joining us. Great talking to you, and excited to see what happens with the Nordica board in the season.
Yeah, best of luck.
Thank you so much, you guys, for having us on. We appreciate it.
Oh,
of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Go Crew.
Go Crew.
Thanks, everyone, for joining the club. We hope you'll listen next week and every week, even in the off-season, to celebrate or commiserate. We'll save you a seat. If you like this podcast, please give us 5 stars and subscribe. You can email us at upper90clubpod@gmail.com. That's upper90clubpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at upper90clubpod. Go Crew! I'm just letting you know that, you better have that thing ready. And I don't care if it's covered in beer hashtag beer shower, hashtag New Gambino, and hashtag Portugal, Spain. But